I also noticed that we have the recipient for the flag recognition, but we are not going to do it right now because we need to go through the process of approving the proclamation before we can present it. So if you don't mind, we'll come back to you after we have the council approve it first. So at this point here, let me open up for oral communication. I'd like to have Madam City Clerk read the instruction into the record, please.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the time of the meeting that members of the public may address the City Council regarding any items on the agenda or non-agenda items that are within the subject matter jurisdiction, except public hearing items. Members of the public wishing to address public hearing items shall do so at the time of the public hearing. Unless otherwise extended by a majority vote of the City Council, comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Any person wishing to address the City Council in person should complete a green speaker slip that is provided at the entrance to the Council chambers and submit the card to the City Clerk. When your name is called, please step to the podium at that time and state your name and city of residence for the record.
Thank you very much. Before we call the first speaker of the night, then let me go ahead and remind you the resolution of 4963, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Westminster establishing rules of decorum and civility at the city council meeting. With that, I would like to ask everyone, treat everyone respectfully, listen to city officials, city staff, and other members of the public. Respectfully exercise self-control and avoid threats of violence and loud, insulting, demeaning, or offensive communication. Be open-minded and consider all viewpoints. Focus on the issue and avoid personalizing debate. Allow all members of the public to speak without intimidation or interruption. And no person attending city council meeting shall repeatedly or excessively engage in disorderly conduct that disrupt, or otherwise impede the orderly conduct of the meeting. All persons attending the city council meeting shall obey any lawful order of the mayor presiding officer, which is me, to enforce the rule of decorum. All persons attending the city council meeting shall listen courteously and attentively to all public discussion at the meeting and avoid interrupting members of public addressing the city council or city official. Enforcement of rules, decorum, and civility policy. In the event that any member of public breaches the rules of decorum in the manner of disrupt, or otherwise impede the orderly conduct of the city council meeting, the mayor presiding, which is me, officer, shall issue an official warning, and you may ask to leave the city council chambers. And at this point here, I also want to remind you that you have seen that we have a number of high school students here tonight, this evening. I'm sure that some of them still, watching or attending the city council via links, Zoom. So I ask if you would refrain any profanity language, would appreciate that so that we can treat each other with respectfully. So with that, I'd like to open up the oral communication. Go ahead and call for the first speaker.
Our first speaker is Terry Little.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Terry Little. I've lived in Westminster for 35 years. I would like to address the proposal to rename part of the 405 freeway Little Saigon. I am against this idea and cannot understand why there is a need or desire to change it. The 405 freeway does not even run through Little Saigon. Dedications of freeways are most commonly named to honor a fallen hero or a person who provided extraordinary public service. The California Senate and Assembly Transportation Committee enacted policy in 2019 for naming highways. One of those policies is that the proposed designation must reflect a community consensus and be without local opposition. This proposal is not without local opposition. In light of our well-known budget concerns, why would we choose to fund this name change? Regarding the changing of the street name near 9600 Bolsa Avenue to Hai Ba Trung Way, the city of Westminster is located in America. The revolt the two sisters led against China occurred in Vietnam, not in America. It would be very patriotic in Vietnam. I'm sure all Vietnamese people now living in America are very happy and proud to live here, and street names here should reflect American heroes. There are already many cultural attributes in our city to be proud of. If you feel the need to change a street name in Westminster, please consider choosing the name of a fallen officer or fireman from our own city. That is where our hearts should be. Councilwoman West, I was disappointed in the meet and greet last Friday. When thanking the residents for coming, you mentioned it is important to have open dialogue. The definition of open dialogue is both sides speaking about their concerns. At your meet and greet, there was only 3 questions from your District 1 residents. That is not open dialogue. Our district has questions which we would like answered for the betterment of our community. In addition, I would like to inquire about the empty land on the corner of Willow and Milton. It has been an eyesore for over 30 years. We residents pay top dollar for our property taxes. We deserve much more effort to beautify our neighborhoods. Lastly, is there any update on the Big Lots property? It is looking pretty bad there as well. Who is currently responsible for the removal of overgrown weeds and trash? Has there been any interest in this property? Thank you all for your best efforts to improve our city.
Our next speaker is Kim Springer.
Can you also announce the next one so that they can be prepared?
Absolutely, Mayor. After Kim is Pam.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. I want to thank first the Westminster Police Department and the partners that they worked with for cleaning up the encampment over off of Willow. Great job, honestly. That was huge. We just need to get them off Westminster now. I'm Kim Springer. I've lived in Westminster for the past 33 years. I continue to be concerned that Westminster is only focusing on one portion of its population. We are a very diverse city with many ethnicities. The one thing that we all share in common is that we are all Americans. I appreciate that we are known for welcoming refugees from Vietnam and that they have chosen to make Westminster their home. However, we are not in Vietnam, and our street signs should not reflect this. As far as recognizing Little Saigon on the 405 freeway, I do not think it's necessary to expend the time, resources, and energy to do this when we have so many other issues that need attention. First and foremost, our homeless population, not to mention businesses leaving Westminster, wherein we are left with abandoned buildings, gang activity, graffiti, and overblight to our community. Whether or not this signage is funded by public funds or private should not matter. The financial resources are needed in many other ways. Charlie, at the prayer, you said, all the citizens we represent. Don't forget that. I always try to be open-minded. Last but not least, I was able to attend the meet and greet with Amy Fan West, but I was able to watch it on YouTube. It concerns me that what was supposed to be an open dialogue, and I was so hopeful for that, so hopeful, ended up as accepting only 3 or 4 questions. I still believe that District 1 needs representation that includes all of its constituents and their issues. Limiting it to 3 or 4 questions does not allow enough open dialogue with all the matters we have to address in our neighborhood. I would love to have a meet and greet with all of you. Nam Kwan, Charlie, Carlos, I would come and see what we're talking about. So that you can hear all the issues of District 1 and fully understand the frustration that we continue to express. Thank you for allowing me to speak with you. Please help us.
Before you call the next speaker, I do have my office hours that I announced at the beginning when I sworn in, and it's still my office hours. If you contact the secretary, then they will put you on schedule. And I believe that we met you last time. I will continue to encourage if there are residents, if you want to meet me, then I will make a chance to that. I have the right to make a brief announcement, so please don't interrupt me. Next.
Our next speaker is Pam, and after Pam is Nguyen Hung.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. You know my name. My name is Pam Gremling. I've been a resident of Westminster for 43 years. I've had the privilege of working for the City of Westminster beginning in '95, and I retired in 2023. When I read item 6.3, I knew I had to come to this meeting and share my experience of interacting with an elected official at my job. As a former employee, I was a special event coordinator. My job involved processing special event applications for various organizations and wanted to host an event in Westminster. A few years ago, a former Westminster elected official asked me to attend a meeting regarding a special event request. When I arrived at the meeting, there was a group of monks that wanted to hold a walking event in the Little Saigon area. At this point, I didn't have an application from them, no site plan, nothing. While in this meeting, I have people across the table staring at me while the elected official is saying, "You can make this happen, right?" I felt pressured to push this event through the process. It wasn't fair to me to put me in that situation and push aside other events that were submitted in a timely manner. I've had a few other incidents with elected officials, but this one really stuck with me. There should be a chain of command for everyone. In my opinion, council should share their requests with city manager or assistant city manager. City manager can pass that request to the appropriate department head, and department heads can share that with their staff. This alleviates the confusion with too many people having to giving directions to staff. These are amazing people that work for the City of Westminster. I would hate to see staff pulled in so many directions from council interfering with their everyday duties performed by staff for our Westminster residents. Please take a moment and reflect on why you're here. You were elected by the people, for the people. You are our voice. We elected you to represent us. I feel there are a few of you that need to focus more on caring for the people in your district and their concerns than you wanting to be the center of that attention. Lastly, I follow several Facebook groups, and I see a few members of this council that continually text the staff at all hours. Please be mindful that when staff goes home, they want to engage with their families. It's their time to unwind and relax with their loved ones. Your questions can wait until the next business day. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, may I address? Mr. Mayor, May I address?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Brief comment, please.
Thank you. Ms. Little and Kim and Pam, I just want to address your guys' concern. You know, with the meet and greet, I'm happy you were able to come out, Ms. Little and Pam. You know, we have more than 3 questions for my section. I can say about 6 people who asked, and then when a person asked, like, you know, can we have the police up? And I say, I'm ready to have the detective up to speak on internet safety and how to protect our children. The people say, no, we have more questions. So I took those questions. So I want to present the fact to you. And then I got the detective up to speak about internet safety and fraud for our senior citizen. So I want to address that. And then Kim, of course, you know, we in the city here, there is 45% Vietnamese American community. And we do represent everyone, like Mr. Mayor said, you know, we represent everyone. But the majority of the people here, Westminster, this is a destination place. I mean, I have talked to residents in District 1 who loves the Vietnamese community. They love their neighbor who are Vietnamese. And they're not racist. They love it. And so we love them too.
Excuse me.
We love you guys too. And we have always said we appreciate the American people who welcome us refugees from Vietnam. So we've always appreciated that.
Hold on,
so.
please. Okay, I know what I have to do. I know what I have to do. So can you briefly your comment?
So basically, yeah, I yield back. I'm done.
Okay, thank you. All right. Just want to let you know, I know what to do. It's just that I have to wait until the right time to stop. You know, I don't want to disrupt, the meeting. So if you could be patient with me, then we'll get the meeting going. Okay, next, we have our next speaker, right?
Our next speaker is Nguyen Hung, followed by Lincoln Long.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being patient with me on that. I know it's difficult.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ngày hôm nay tôi muốn báo cáo về tai nạn xảy ra ngày 27 tháng 5 năm 2023 gây ra bởi thị trưởng Charlie Chi Nguyễn.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm writing to request. Oh, you just say hi, right? Okay.
Kính thưa quý vị, tôi viết thư để yêu cầu thành phố và cảnh sát cung cấp bản sao tai nạn xe Tesla gây ra bởi thị trưởng Charlie Nguyễn Mạnh Trí xảy ra ngày 27 tháng 5 năm 2023 lúc 15 giờ 29 phút tại cơ sở thương mại số 9938 Bullseye Avenue, căn 117 F Westminster với tội danh sơ khởi là Traffic Accident DUI.
I'm writing to request the city to provide a copy of the Tesla accident caused by Mayor Charlie Chi Nguyen, which occurred on May 27th, 2023 at 1529 at 9938 Bullseye Avenue, Unit 117, West, in our city, with the initial charge of traffic accident/DUI.
Tôi đã đến thành phố ngày thứ Ba, ngày 20 tháng 6 năm 2023 để điền mẫu đơn xin báo cáo của biên bản trong Event History Log được niêm yết tại Sở Cảnh sát Westminster mang số 2305-6543, nhưng rất tiếc bị từ chối vì lý do tôi không phải là người tham gia trong tai nạn này. Điều này làm cho tôi ngạc nhiên vì tôi là nhà báo đã đăng ký trên KBC Hải ngoại Media Services ở Sở Tài liệu quận Cam. Tôi có quyền xin biên bản để điều tra tai nạn, hầu làm sáng tỏ sự thiếu trong sáng của thị trưởng Charlie Nguyễn Mạnh Trí khi trình bày tai nạn trên một số video của các cơ quan truyền thông Việt ngữ.
I went to the city on Tuesday, June 20th, to fill out the event history log report application form posted at the Westminster Police Station as of 2305-6543, but unfortunately was denied by Westminster Police Department that I'm not the person who was involved in this accident, This surprised me because I am the journalist registered as KBC Overseas Media Services with the Orange County Department of Records. I have the right to ask for a report to investigate the accident to clarify the lack of transparency from Mayor Charlie Chi Nguyen when presenting the accident on some Vietnamese language media agencies.
Tôi chỉ muốn giúp cho cảnh sát và thành phố giải quyết một vấn đề tai nạn xe cộ đơn giản, thay vì ông thị trưởng Charlie Nguyễn Mạnh Trí lại cố tình dẫn dắt sự kiện càng ngày càng rắc rối và thiếu thuyết phục, nên càng ngày càng làm cho dư luận hoang mang, nhất là cộng đồng người Việt tại quận Cam cũng như tại Hoa Kỳ hiểu lầm hệ thống tư pháp của Hoa Kỳ. Tại Mỹ không ai có thể ngồi trên pháp luật, kể cả tổng thống.
I just want to help the police and the city to solve a simple car accident instead of Mayor Charlie Chi Nguyen deliberately spinning the event to become more and more confused to most Vietnamese communities in Orange County. In America, no one can sit above the law, not even the President of the United States.
Hai lý do chính đáng mà tôi hy vọng quý vị thông cảm là tù chính án số 1 và thị trưởng Charlie Nguyễn Mạnh Trí là người của cộng đồng. Tôi xin nhắc lại, thành phố đã từng bị thua vụ án với cựu cảnh sát trưởng Kevin Baker năm 2017, buộc phải cung cấp tài liệu liên hệ. Cái link của tờ báo Voice Orange County. Nay tôi viết.
Two good reasons I hope you understand are the First Amendment and Mayor Charlie Chi Nguyen is a public figure. I would like to remind you that the city that lost the case to former sheriff, chief of police Kevin Baker in 2017 was forced to provide contact documents, and he gave a link.
Nay tôi viết thư này yêu cầu thành phố, cảnh sát và Hội đồng thành phố Westminster, California vui lòng cung cấp bản báo cáo cho tai nạn mang số 23056543 ngày càng sớm càng tốt. Tôi không muốn làm lịch sử là một sự tái diễn như tờ báo Voice of Orange County đã làm trước đây. Nhưng nếu cần, tôi cũng phải làm như vậy để giúp cho dư luận tránh hiểu lầm thành phố và cảnh sát đang bao che cho thị trưởng. Người đã có quá nhiều lầm lỗi không xứng đáng được tiếp tục công việc. Thị trưởng, chưa nói đến cái âm mưu xóa bỏ tai nạn qua việc thu xếp của một doanh nghiệp, không phải là cảnh sát hay là viên chức thành phố để qua mặt bảo hiểm.
I'm writing now to request that the police and the city of Westminster please provide the accident report, hashtag 2305-6543 as soon as possible. I don't want to make history a repeat like Voice of OC did before, but if necessary, I must also do the same to help the public avoid misunderstanding the city while the police are covering for the mayor who has made so many mistakes and bad reputation does not deserve to continue as our mayor. Not to mention the conspiracy to eliminate the accident through the arrangement by a powerful businessman other than the police or city officials to deceive insurance.
Tôi hy vọng trễ nhất là ngày thứ Hai, mùng 3 tháng 7 năm 2023, tôi sẽ nhận được báo cáo.
I hope that he would receive it by Monday, July 3rd.
I again Asia 71 too.
Let's, before you call the next one. Mr. Hong Tran, Hong Nguyen. I know I respect you that every time that you come here and you speak, after you speak, you leave right away. But if I ask if you can stay until the end of today, we'll have the report out to you. So can you stay until then? I would like to ask you to stay. Okay, we'll have the story for you. We'll respond to your questions, your accusation, I should say. Next speaker.
Our next speaker is Lincoln Long with Michael on deck.
First time I'll be here.
Welcome.
I put my hand and give it to all of you. For my respectful.
Is that money?
Picture.
Thank you.
Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. My name is Lincoln Long. 408-960-4903. I'm from San Francisco. Today, I would like, I come here, I would like to bow all of you. In God we trust. Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Sangham Saranam Gacchami. I would like to bow all of you. You know, I am an national traveling missionary Buddhist monk. I just came back from Australia. Today I would like to. Why I bow you guys for? For respectful. I have trees. I bow you guys everything from your mind and heart and bow. When you bow, you have to kill your ego first before they kill you. Be gentle, be patient, be humble. I would like to say only 3 steps to be free. Only 3 steps to be free. Three steps to be successful in your future. We are the world. If you love people, how can you love Jesus? Yeah? How can you love Buddha and Allah? I share with you only 3 steps to be free. First, control your thought, what you think. Second, control your work, what you say. And third, control your action, what you do. Why? Because your action will affect your life. Karma, what goes around comes around. So you saw yourself, you reap what you sow. I believe in karma. If you don't believe it, look at you in the mirror and you will know exactly who you are. Look at you in the mirror. You smile, your reflection will smile back. You're angry, they will angry back. So you are what you do. You are what you think they will come to you. So what goes around comes around. You reap what you sow. We are the world. Non-party, no enemy, non-ego, no ego, no enemy. Thank you for listening. The more you listen and the more you know, the more you learn and the more you understand. You got it? We are the world. You don't. One more time, you don't love people. How can you love Jesus? How can you love Buddha? Open your mercy, open your compassion. Love them all, even your enemy, and you will be free. And drop it, you will be free. Drop what? Drop greedy, selfish, hatred, anger, delusion, ignorance. Drop it, you will be free. Thank you for listening. The more you listen, and the more you know, the more you learn, and the more you understand. Thank you. I come here to my statue, but I will talk later. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Michael with Kim on deck.
Thank you. I actually had quite a few things to say, but because you won't give us 5 minutes and I only have 3 minutes, I'm going to have to make this quick. Item 6.3, you want to repeal code 2.04.130. Some of you are already violating this code, and we have somebody sitting up here right now in the red dress over there that consistently does not follow the chain of command. And if you don't know what the chain of command is, I suggest you look it up. Those of us who are in the military, myself, this fine gentleman back here, or law enforcement, these gentlemen up here, you follow the chain of command when you want something to be done. The other thing that upsets me about this, and he's not here tonight, but his stand-in is, your city attorney is not even bothering to tell you, don't do it. If you haven't read Chief Kevin Baker's lawsuit against the city, you probably should, because if you don't read it, you're going to wind up doing the same things that those previous councils did. And as I said, this is already going on because I get to read those text messages on Facebook. The ones that certain council members say, oh, I don't have anything to report. Well, not really, because I get to read them on there because they are reportable. Item 6.4, the 405 freeway. If you want to name the 405 freeway for somebody, how about Native Americans or Hispanics that were here long before Vietnamese ever showed up in this country, let alone this particular community? And the 405 freeway starts down the end at Bolsa Chica. There's no Little Saigon down there. Little Saigon's up here in the middle of the city. So you want to name that distance all the way up to where Little Saigon is. Why don't you put signs at the off-ramps so people know where they're supposed to be going? We have a lot of people that come from outside the area. They go there to shop. They go there to eat. They go there to buy gifts for their friends. They come from out of state. They come from out of country. Put the freeway signs up. There's no reason to identify the 405 freeway. Somebody mentioned maybe we should name the 22 freeway. That won't happen. Since 2009, that's been the Garden Grove Police Officers Memorial Freeway, of which I'm a veteran of that department. My friends were killed on duty, and that's who that freeway's named for. If you want to name the 405 in our city, why don't you name it for the Westminster officers that died in the line of duty? It's the same thing we have over in Garden Grove on the 22 freeway. So between those two things, you're going to be making some mistakes here. And if you repeal 6.3, you're going to wind up with lawsuits because these city employees are not going to want city council members calling them up going, hey, man, can you do this for me? Thank you.
Our next speaker is Victoria Kim.
Sir, I believe that you left something here. Do you want to take it away, or you forgot about it? Can somebody talk to him?
Thầy ơi, thầy đẩy mấy cái này về nha. Tại vì hồi nãy có rồi, hồi chút Amy sẽ cho họ, ok?
Please,
Thầy đẩy cái này về.
Please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Christine, you want to take that for us, for City Clerk? Yeah.
Thank you. Trước hết là xin được chào Hội đồng thành phố, cũng tất cả những cư dân, cảnh sát ở tại cuộc họp này.
She'd like to greet to all the council members, the chief of police, the staff, and everyone here.
Hôm nay tôi đến đây với tư cách là công dân Mỹ Việt Nam Cộng Hòa, Victoria Cooper, và để bảo vệ cái luật pháp và hiến pháp nước Mỹ 1776.
She came here as a Vietnamese American, Republican Vietnamese American, to protect the Constitution of the 1776.
Tôi muốn góp ý với lại thị trưởng Mạnh Chí, mà bây giờ có nickname là Major Đuôi á, thành ra rằng là tôi muốn thị trưởng nhớ là người dân Mỹ của chúng tôi đến đây, chúng tôi với lòng yêu nước và trách nhiệm với tổ quốc Hoa Kỳ này để make America great again, để chúng tôi nói sự thật. Nhưng mà vừa qua cái đồng bọn của cái băng đảng bố già mà của băng họp của City Hall, mà trong đó có thị trưởng Major Đuôi đó, với lại Nam Quang đó, họ khi chúng tôi phát biểu ở đây và bằng với trách nhiệm và bổn phận của người công dân Mỹ thì bị khủng bố, bị đe dọa.
She said she came up here. She has some suggestion to the mayor. Now she gave you a nickname of Mayor DUI, and she said she came here to try to protect America, to make America great again. But the last time she was speaking, she felt like she was threatened and she was terrorized.
Tôi muốn nói sự thật là tôi đang đến đây với cái tư cách là người công dân Mỹ để đòi lại cái chiến thắng long trời lở đất ngày 3 tháng 11 năm 2020 của người dân Mỹ yêu nước của chúng tôi và Tổng thống Donald Trump trong won in a landslide November 3rd, 2024.
She came here and she wanted to remind everybody the victory on January 3rd, 2020, and she just wanted to support President Trump.
Vì tôi muốn make America great again, và Westminster cũng phải được cứu bằng cái sự mà góp ý của chúng tôi là thị trưởng Đuôi nickname á, thì là hãy cố gắng tôn trọng sự thật. Và chúng tôi đến đây, chúng tôi thể hiện cái quyền công dân của chúng tôi nói sự thật để giúp cho City Hall để mà cùng với người dân Mỹ chúng tôi để bảo vệ tổ quốc Hoa Kỳ này, để make America great again.
She said she want, on top of making America great again, she want to save the city. And she remind the mayor, she again said Mayor DUI, to remember that she was exercise her citizens' right, and she just want to make America great again.
Và tôi xin được trân trọng cảm ơn quý cảnh sát Westminster đã lắng nghe cái sự phản ảnh của chúng tôi khi tôi ra họp, đang ngồi họp trong phòng họp này, mà có một đồng bọn của thị trưởng đuôi với lại Nam Quang đó, họ đem họ làm nhục tôi, hỏi are you okay, họ giống là bảo tôi là bị khùng điên vì tôi góp ý với lại Westminster, với lại những cái sai trái của Nam Quang phó thị trưởng á, và thị trưởng nickname đuôi á, thì cố gắng phải biết tôn trọng người dân chúng tôi đi đến đây để vì lòng yêu nước và bảo vệ nước Mỹ, chứ không phải là vì đồng lương hay đồng tiền. Nhưng mà đừng có trấn lột tiền thuế của người chúng tôi mà để mà phiên dịch đó là không cho phiên dịch, mà là tôi phải mời một phiên dịch tuyệt vời như Khải Đào giúp đỡ miễn phí cho người dân, trong khi tiền thuế của chúng tôi mà là bị trấn lột mà chia chác cho nhau. Tất cả những tội ác đó phải cần chấm dứt lại. Và xin một lần nữa xin được cảm ơn cảnh sát đã luôn đồng hành với lại người dân Mỹ của chúng tôi để cùng nhau chúng ta bảo vệ tổ quốc Hoa Kỳ và bảo vệ luật pháp và hiến pháp nước Mỹ. Và hành vi mà của đồng bọn, của băng đảng bố già của tại Westminster này thì phải chấm dứt, còn không thì phải bị trừng trị theo đúng luật pháp và hiến pháp nước Mỹ.
She said she wanted to thank the police chief and the Westminster police who has understand when she seek help when she thinks the lucky henchman of Vice Mayor Nam Quan and Mayor Charlie Nguyen harassed her.
Yes.
And she wants the mayor to understand that she is a patriot and respect her right and respect what she's trying to do to help the city.
Dạ, một lần nữa cảm ơn nghị viên Carlos Menzo cũng như là cụ phó thị trưởng Kimberly Hồ mà đã giảm dũng cảm không có.
Council member Carlos Menzo and Kimberly Hồ.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Dao Tran with And He Eats on deck.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Just 2 weeks ago, we celebrated the 35th anniversary of Little Saigon. Most of you were at Asian Mall from Mayor Charlie Nguyen, Vice Mayor Nam Quan Nguyen, and Councilwoman Amy Phan West, to the city manager and assistant manager to congratulate the growing up of Little Saigon, and Westminster City is the center of it. I did not see council members Menzo and Ho there. You have missed a big event while Westminster City is a great part of it. Westminster is moving forward to make our city prosperous and safe, a good place for people to live and build their families and business. Along with the growing of Little Saigon, I would like to support the replacement of Little Saigon entry size at 9600 and 9637 Bonsai Avenue from Pagoda to Hai Ba Chừng. The Chừng sisters in the 1st century have stood up against the Đông Han, the invader from north of Vietnam, a monster that always wants to swallow our country from the beginning of the world history until now, the 21st century. As you can see now, Red China always claims the land and sea of all other countries around as Philippines, Vietnam, and Japan. I also support the designation of a portion of I-405 freeway as Little Saigon Freeway between Bonsa Chica and Magnolia. It helps the visitors to come and explore Little Saigon and bring up our business. Together, we'll build this city safe, prosperous, for people to live and do business. People will judge you based on what you do for them, not on what you say. Thank you for listening and good night.
And Keat with Tina on deck. And Kiet. Sorry. My apologies.
I need help from my friend.
Okay.
Okay, hello, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Councilman, and lawyer, and all officer, and all. I have one thing. Okay, sorry, I speak Vietnamese. Tôi đã tìm ra một cái clip rất là đáng sợ và rất nguy hiểm tại thành phố Westminster. Và hôm nay tôi tới đây để report cảnh sát và nhờ cảnh sát cầu up một cái danger, very danger. Okay.
I have already found a video clip which is very important to the people of Westminster, and I would like to show to all of you the scenery of the people who harass and kick another Vietnamese lady.
Also, tôi đã khám phá là cái người này là một YouTuber.
I found that the person who kicked the Vietnamese lady at the parking lot is a YouTuber.
And trước đây 2 tháng, cái ông này tôi thấy mặt được ông có mặt thường xuyên mỗi 2 tuần tại thành phố buổi họp này.
And around 2 months ago, I saw this person who attend the meeting here. So therefore, I come to show to you the person who harass and abuse other person.
Và tôi đã khám phá ra được cái người này đánh một phụ nữ giống như là boxing knockout tại parking lot.
I recognize this person who had kicked and hit the person, the lady at the parking lot, like a boxing.
Và tôi đã tìm ra được cái ngày đánh đó là ngày 30 tháng 4, 2020, có cảnh sát report.
And the date of the occurrence is right on April 30, 2023.
Please, sir, address to the council.
Hôm nay là tôi muốn cảnh sát hãy giúp đỡ người dân tại thành phố Lý Tô Sài Gòn của chúng tôi. Tại vì chúng tôi đi ra thành phố này nó không được an ninh, nó không được tức là bình an trong cái con người của dân chúng tôi.
I hereby request the police, Department of Police, especially in Westminster Police Department, help us to investigate this case so that we can stop the harassing and abusing power toward the people of Westminster.
Dạ, cảm ơn thị trưởng, phó thị trưởng và các nhân viên. Và thành thật cảm ơn quý vị cảnh sát. Và xin chúc đêm yên bình và bình an.
Thank you for all of you listening to this, and best wish to you all.
Mr. Mayor, can I
Yes,
have a brief comment? Mr. Kidd, we heard you, and at the city, we strive for safety. We consider safety for the resident is the first thing, priority. So I would like our chief to take a look into this to see what happened.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Commander Weber has already spoke with this individual and gave him his contact information about this crime. WPD is aware of it and is investigating, and there's some other details that this might be up to 3 years old, but we are in receipt of this assault.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Our next speaker is Tina with Kaido on deck.
Hello. I made some flyers again for you and flags for 4th of July. Hauka, my name is Tina. I'm a mother of 3 boys. I used to be Anderson's elementary school PTA president for 4 years. What I saw was a lot of horrible things that these teachers were doing behind parents' back. I knew I had to start trying to help out my city better for my children. My children's father was born and raised in Westminster. I myself is from Long Beach, and my dad made sure I was proud to wherever I came from above and from the bottom and above. Someone's always watching. Who else is going to do it? I used my gift as being a medium and a psychic, but I never told anyone because I had a hidden agenda myself, one that I kept close to my heart, and one that no one can take away from me. My 4 offsprings were a gift to me from my ancestors. Shame on you. Shame on the city of Westminster for using me and abusing me for not only as a mother, but as a child. This is one job you will not take away from me. Mark my words, you will pay big in this life and in the next life. Let's talk about mental health. I'm free after family court because my babies were kidnapped. I haven't seen my own children, my babies, my kids, my offsprings. In 2 years, 2 years I have not seen them. This is one mama bear, you're not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop. To everyone in the Westminster, the city of Westminster, the whole world, I'm gonna show everybody what you have done to me. Project Rose, children's lives matter. These teachers and principals all need to look up, to be locked up with the city leaders. Human sex trafficking is real and not a joke. These children need healing and they need to be heard. What about them? I'm not American, I'm indigenous. I'm free, I am me. My motto is, you lie once, you'll lie again. What else is there? That lie is going to hold you back. Abraham Lincoln is the 16th president. My son's favorite president. The fact that my son didn't want to lie and set a good example for what he wanted for himself. I'm showing my firstborn how the schools have affected not only me, but my ancestors, my whole family. I do not believe in God, and I do not believe Jesus was ever my king. You cannot force me to believe in something that I know about. I want my children back, and I have nothing else to give you guys. I'm done. I brought my dad with me today to help me and support me, because I have nothing. I have nothing. He left me with nothing. I'm homeless, and I'd rather stay homeless. I'm not proud of the United States at all. I'm not, and this is for my kids. I'm not. I'm not. Shame on you. These children need help and support.
Our next speaker is Kai Dao with Lee Nguyen on deck.
Good evening, everyone. Before I start my speech, I'd like to congratulate to the recipients, the STEM students. You are our future. You make us proud. And I want to say good luck to all of them. And please, if any of them is listening, please disregard whatever I'm going to say after this to your mayor. I don't mean to rain on your parade or belittle your achievement or this event that happened in the beginning. This is my oral communication session, and it only concerns our adults versus the public servants here. Again, congratulations. All right, good stuff, you guys. I don't know how many more stunts you guys gonna pull to PR yourself, to try to get out of the record that we're preparing, like trying to change the name to a Vietnamese hero, and then upset a lot of residents here. I was entrusted by a group of Westminster residents to file a petition for circulation of a recall against you, Councilman Nam Quan. I was paid to serve you tonight as well. I was planning to do it and file a paper with the city clerk tonight, but since tonight was a special night, I don't want to ruin it for others. So I guess we can put up with you for a few more weeks. So I guess tonight maybe let this be another warning, a request from us to you to resign for the sake of our city. And also, I'd like to ask the attorney law firm, our city's law firm, to request Mr. Nam Quan to resign, as you, Mr. Mayor, and the rest of the council, even if you can relay my message to Council Member Kim Lee Ho, because what happened is he's liable to our city. You continue to maintain a YouTube channel to defame and slander others. Your partner has been sued and will continue to be sued by many others. You are also being sued, and there will be many more to sue you, and they will sue the city as the mayor as well. So for the sake of the city, you have to resign because you are a huge liability to our city. And Mr. Mayor, what happened to your head? I thought you claimed the Tesla malfunction. There was no injury, right? What happened to your head? The bruise didn't last for 2 months? Thank you very much.
Lee with Jessica.
Good evening, everyone. Chúng tôi muốn nói với ông luật sư và bà quản trị viên của thành phố là trước đây ông Manfro đã từ chức vì ông ấy biết rằng băng đảng Bonsa đã và đang tàn phá thành phố này với những việc làm dơ bẩn mờ ám. Ông ta từ chức vì không muốn bị liên lụy tới mình khi những chuyện phạm pháp này bị đưa ra ánh sáng. Cái chức quản trị viên thành phố rất quan trọng. Vì vậy, trước đây thành phố đã rất quan tâm và cẩn trọng khi thuê mướn người vào chức vụ này. Tại sao họ lại đưa bà Christine Corden vào chức vụ này quá dễ dàng và nhanh chóng như vậy? Mới hôm nào bà còn ngồi cái bàn kia để đọc tên những người muốn lên phát biểu. Mọi người rất bất ngờ khi thấy bà ngồi vào chức vụ này. Việc này nói lên điều gì? Tụi băng đảng Bonsa đã chọn cho đồng bào vào những chức vụ này rồi. Chờ khi nào củng cố quyền lực xong, họ sẽ mời quý vị đi chỗ khác chơi để đồng chí của họ vào ngồi những cái ghế này. Vì vậy đừng nên ngạc nhiên khi chuyện này xảy ra.
We'd like to say something to the city attorney and city manager. Mr. Manfro, the former city manager, had resigned when he found out that the Bolsa Mafia gang had been destroying the city with all the dirty and shady corruption. He quit his job because he didn't want to get involved in the illegal activities if they were exposed to the public. City manager is an important position. Therefore, the city needs to consider very carefully and very selectively when looking for a person to fill in? Why did they choose Ms. Cordon for this seat, for this seat so easily and quickly? Not long ago, she was still sitting at the table, checking the name of the speakers. Everyone was surprised to see her getting this position. What does it mean? The Bolsa gang already had in mind that their comrades were to fill in these seats. Wait until their power is well established, and you two will be replaced by their comrades. As a matter of fact, don't be surprised when that happens.
Chúng tôi nghe nhiều người ở thủ đô tị nạn bàn tán về việc mới đây ông thị trưởng Nguyễn Mạnh Chí lao chiếc xe Tesla vào một cơ sở thương mại trên đường Bolsa, khiến cho tiệm này phải đóng cửa để sửa chữa. Dư luận cho rằng lúc đó ông đang say rượu nên không kiểm soát được chiếc xe, vì vậy mới gây ra tai nạn. Nhưng cũng có nguồn tin nói rằng ông đổ thừa cho cái thắng xe bị trục chặt. Người ta còn nói rằng mới đây ông lên dự tiệc trên San Jose, mà buổi tiệc này có sự bảo trợ của công ty hàng không và hãng xe điện VinFast của Việt Cộng. Ông muốn chứng tỏ cho mọi người thấy rằng xe Tesla không đáng tin cậy, nên hãy mua xe VinFast của Việt Cộng. Xin ông cho biết điều này có đúng không? Nếu có ông có kiện hãng Tesla ra tòa vì đã làm mất mặt ông không? Ông có lời khuyên nào cho những người trẻ tuổi khi ở vào tuổi của ông và là thị trưởng của một thành phố mà còn vi phạm tội lái xe dưới ảnh hưởng của bia rượu và ma túy không?
Recently, the Vietnamese community has been talking about Mr. Charlie Nguyen, who just slammed his Tesla into a shop on Bolts Avenue. The shop has been closed for fixing the damage. It's said that the mayor was drunk, and that's why he could not control the vehicle, which led to the accident. However, there's a rumor that he blamed it on the brakes, which didn't function properly. Also, people are talking about the grand party that some of you guys attended in San Jose a few months ago. The party, which Vietnam Airlines and VinFast electric vehicle companies were among the sponsors. Is it true that you, Mr. Mayor, want to prove that Tesla is not reliable, so people should buy VinFast? Are you going to sue Tesla because its malfunction made you lose face? Do you have any advice for the younger generation when someone your age, and also the member of a city, got a DUI violation?
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Jessica, followed by Terry Raines.
Sorry, I broke your toy. Okay. That was a weird way to start my speech. Okay. All right, good evening. I'm here tonight to request that you vote no on item 6.3 so that the city can keep the ordinance that governs how elected officials interact with city employees. Elected officials should refrain from interfering in the day-to-day business of city employees for two main reasons: to promote productivity and to ensure impartial governance. When politicians start meddling in the routine details of city business, it can disrupt workflows, cause confusion, and even undermine the effectiveness of those who know their job best. By allowing professionals to carry out their designated roles without undue political interference, you create an environment where expertise, experience, and merit guide the decision-making process. Your constituents want to know what their leaders are doing and how they're interacting with employees. By keeping these guidelines in place, we can make sure that there's no inappropriate pressure going on behind closed doors. We want everyone to have an equal chance, regardless of who they know or how much influence they wield. This ordinance is a safeguard to guarantee that the employees of this city can do their job without undue interference. It's not about stifling you, it's about setting reasonable boundaries and making sure that the city is protected from litigation related to political favoritism. This ordinance ultimately benefits the community at large, so please vote no on item 6.3 and protect the employees and the city of Westminster. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Terry with Jody Boyd on deck.
Hello, Amy. I've never seen a public official treat constituents so rudely as you did at your event on Friday. You argued with people who were just asking you questions and explaining their concerns to you. The campaign rhetoric speech your handler made was laughable and so inappropriate for the setting. Shame on you, Amy. The city paid advanced applied engineer in 1800 towards the Asian Garden Mall parking structure, item 3.2. The applicant must fully reimburse the city for this. Item 5.2, the final motion made on May 24th was to review the other billboard proposals in open, not closed session. The city attorney ignored that formal direction and went behind closed doors under the guise of property negotiations where only lease and price and terms can be discussed. This violates the Brown Act. All this because some council members don't understand or trust the RFP process or our staff, accusing them of illegally or unethically choosing branded cities for this contract. Stop wasting city resources and let staff do their jobs. Item 5.6, the city must not allow City of Westminster on the sign design. Only official street signs should have that designation. Signs that appear to be official in a foreign language, no. Pagoda is English, Hai Bai Trung is not. Item 7.1, if the school board proposes an incompatible office conflict might exist for Con Wen to vote on it as traffic commissioner because he's also on the school board. If Mr. Johnson requested it independent of the board using his president title might be problematic. Hey, speaking of traffic commissioners, where's Amy's appointee, Mr. Castillo? Item 6.4, the renaming must not start at Bolsa Chica Road, which is nowhere near Little Saigon, a designated cultural business district on Bolsa Avenue between Magnolia and Bouchard. The entire city is not Little Saigon, nor will ever be. The proposal seeks to erase the historical significance of our city dating back to 1870, 105 years before the fall of Saigon. The 405 freeway doesn't even pass through Little Saigon. It runs further south. The only portion, if any, that should be renamed, or better yet, have just directional exit signs on, like the 22, are exits 15 and 16. Exit 18 is Bolsa Avenue, but it's too far west of Little Saigon. Council do not support ACR 71 as written. Item 6.3. Our newly elected lawmakers are lawbreakers who want to erase a law enacted to protect our city staff from improper influence, harassment, or interruption from elected officials, them. A law that deters corruption and preserves integrity of the organization. The city attorney failed to provide copies of the law that they want to repeal, I gave you them, in the staff report until late yesterday, only after I sent an email on Monday. The report states those rules already exist in state law. No, they do not. Remember Chief Baker's $500,000 settlement due to the harassment of staff by elected officials? Margie Rice, at her very worst, was a saint compared to Amy, and I have voluminous public records to prove it. These two ran as law and order candidates, but violate and repeal laws instead. I'm pleading with you, Mayor Wen, wherever you are, stand with your employees and vote no on this item. If you vote yes, major news organizations and employee unions across the state will be notified and there will be consequences. You can bank on that. And Vice Mayor, quit leaving during public comments for 20 minutes.
Our next speaker is Jody Boyd with Roger.
Good evening. My name is Jody Boyd, and it is truly a pleasure to be here to speak with you this evening. I wish the mayor was here, because I'd like to compliment him on his ties this year. Anyway, what brought me out this evening is the city's horrible fiscal situation. We might as well say it and accept it. We're broke. We have been broke. We cannot pass another budget that does not balance. We have to cut the money from this budget and pass a balanced budget. We can't continue to spend money that exceeds what we bring in revenue. It's not sustainable. This is going to be the legacy of all of you. The Honorable Mayor, Mayor Wen, and each one of our city council members. This is your legacy. It's not the legacy of the people that were here before you. It's not the legacy of past mayors or city council members or inflation or even COVID. This will be your legacy. The city of Westminster will be broke and in bankruptcy before the 2028 Olympics even get here, unless you act and do something. And it's going to take big, bold, radical ideas. It's time to bring back the agenda item from last year that it was agreed to table it until after the November 2022 election and the new mayor and city council was on board. And that is the proposal from the Shrine Group that could immediately bring at least $2 million in annual, to start, tax revenue to this city that stays local. It's our money. You can put it in the general fund, you can allocate it however you want. There are companies, big companies, lined up wanting to bring business and jobs and our desperately needed income. We have to look at and bring back on the agenda, we have to look at cannabis dispensaries. One of our neighbors, Santa Ana, has brought in millions upon millions of dollars. Here's something we need to think about. They are now at the maximum of the 30 licenses for cannabis dispensaries. Why can't we do it? Thank you.
Our next speaker.
I like your tie.
Our next speaker is Roger with Tony Bowie on deck.
Good evening, Roger Mindrum, resident of Westminster for close to 28 years now. I have to say that I haven't been here for a little while because of the, let's just say in the last 28 years, this makeup of council members, especially you three, you know who you are, has made this room so toxic, so uncomfortable, and so mentally unhealthy. I had to really just take a mental break to get away from this. And putting the 6.3 on the agenda and repealing this ordinance, that the entire design of that ordinance was to save the city from lawsuits, because it actually happened. The reasoning that is in the staff report, they expressed those rules, meaning Namquan and Amy, they expressed those rules already exist under state law, which require council members to respect the council/manager form of government, and the language in the ordinance is therefore unnecessary and unduly burdensome. They feel that the ordinance is overbroad, unnecessarily seeks to micromanage the council, reduces opportunities for collegial informational meetings with department heads, and that it generally encourages a more divisive relationship between the city council and staff. That is the biggest bunch of malarkey I've ever heard in my life. This ordinance that stands currently is akin in spirit to the United States Constitution Bill of Rights. It limits the government. Some people wrongly think that the US Constitution gives powers to the government. No, it limits the government. Shall not, shall not, shall not, shall not is in every single one of the 10 Bill of Rights. Also on the agenda, pretty full agenda, I want to remind you that it is not your job, not your responsibility to negotiate or renegotiate these awards of contracts like you have attempted to do in the past. If you see problems, okay, question problems, but you should not be skipping over our management where they've already done all the work. They're the professionals, not you. It's their careers. They're the professionals. We pay them good money to do that job. Back to 6.3, if you took a poll of every employee in the city, department heads and staff members, police department, everybody, I can pretty much guarantee you that they would be against what you're about to do on 6.3 tonight. And I really wish there was, and I don't know, am I the end of the speakers? I'm really surprised that more department heads and employees didn't come up here and speak out on this.
Our next speaker is Tony Bowie with Gigi. Following, Tony.
Good evening, Mayor Charlie Nguyen, Vice Mayor Nam Quan Nguyen, City Council Member Alan, Amy Van West, City Council Charles Manjo, and the Assembly Kimberly Hall. I came here to raise my concern about changes in our city of Westminster. Every time we have to change for the better. In every minute, our body has changed too. Billion cells die and billion new blood cells grow up. That is change in our body. The same thing with our city. It has to be changed for the better. And United States is the country that provides change for all of us. All of you have the chance to be elected as officer. So go on and run in the election. And don't come up here and create problems for our city. So today, I come to support the item 5.3 to change the name of one place. They call it Pagoda on street 9700 block on Bonsa Street. And nobody see a pagoda there. Therefore, some people propose to change it to Hai Ba Trưng, the two Trưng sisters for Hai Ba Trưng instead of pagoda. And you know, all the people in America know Washington. And he is the man who courage to defend, to make independence for the United States against the British. The same thing with Hai Ba Trưng, the two Trưng sisters, in the year 40, after the Christian time, 40 AD. She had led the revolution against the Chinese invader of Vietnam. And therefore, in Vietnam, every people know the Trưng sister, and they respect the Trưng sister. And we should have the name Hai Ba Trưng there, so that all the Vietnamese American kids, they will be proud that they are here, and they will keep the spirit of revolution for the better, and making things better for all the people to enjoy. That is the dream of all the people, and I hope the dream will become true. Thank you very much for your...
Our next speaker is Gigi, with our final speaker being Trong.
I believe the Gigi, right? Gigi is right next. Don Chong, you're after.
Gigi's first.
Gigi, you're next.
You're after Gigi.
Xin kính chào tất cả quý vị trong Hội đồng thành phố Westminster. Tôi là một cư dân của Lido, Sài Gòn. Hôm nay tôi đến đây, tôi muốn ủng hộ và hoan nghênh cái dự trình của Phó Thị trưởng Nam Quang và cô nghị viên Amy Quyết về vấn đề đổi tên con đường Pagoda thành con đường Hai Bà Trưng.
My name is Gigi Vo. I am resident of Little Saigon, and I'm here tonight, and I support the changing of they call the Little Saigon entry sign from pagoda, like Mr. Tony said that there is no pagoda over there. So we would like to change, and she support the idea of changing the pagoda to Hai Bà Trưng.
Khi mà đọc đến chữ Hai Bà Trưng, làm cho người dân Việt Nam tị nạn chúng tôi ở đây nhắc nhớ đến là hai bà là hai người nữ lưu. Anh Kiệt đã đem đất nước Việt Nam chúng tôi từ, nếu mình nhắc lại thì trước công nguyên năm 40 thì quân Nguyên Thái thú Tô Định đem quân đánh vào nước Nam chúng tôi, thì ông Thi Sách là chồng của bà Trưng Trắc đứng ra đánh đuổi quân Nguyên, nhưng vì thế yếu nên ông Thi Sách đã không cầm cự được và đã mất. Thì với cái lòng căm thù để muốn trả thù cho chồng, bà Trưng Trắc mới đứng lên cùng em là Trưng Nhị chiêu quân. Lúc đó người dân Việt Nam chúng tôi theo rất là đông và đánh đuổi được quân Nguyên ra khỏi bờ củi nước Nam, và ông Tô Định phải bỏ mình. Rồi bắt đầu từ đó nước Việt Nam chúng tôi trở nên được êm, không còn giặc Tàu sang đánh chiếm nữa. Đó cũng là nhờ công ơn oanh liệt của hai bà đã hy sinh. Đó là một cái tấm gương rất là lớn để cho những hậu vệ, những người sau này Việt Nam của chúng tôi noi gương theo, thấy được những gương hy sinh rất là cao cả của những người phụ nữ Việt Nam.
Anytime when we think of Hai Bà Trưng, we are very proud because at the first century, then the woman, Trưng Trắc is the older sister and Trưng Nhi is the younger sister. Because Trưng Trac's husband is killed by the invader from the north of Vietnam, and then because of the country and because of her husband, then they both stood up to chase the invader. That time, the commander is Toding, and she won that time, and our country is out of the invader for some time.
Và tôi cũng xin hoan nghênh về Exit Lido Sài Gòn do dân biểu Tạ Đức Trí đã cùng với Hạ viện Quốc hội đã xin được cái Exit Lido Sài Gòn. Thì cái Lido Sài Gòn này tất cả những người dân Việt tị nạn chúng tôi sống ở đây, là đây là một cái trung tâm tị nạn lớn nhất của người Việt chúng tôi. Sau năm 1975, người Việt chúng tôi đã có mặt tại Lido Sài Gòn này và đã cho đến ngày hôm nay đã rất là thành công về mọi mặt, về phương diện chính trị, học vấn, thương mại, quân sự và nhiều đóng góp khác cho rất là nhiều cho đất nước Hoa Kỳ này. Đây là một cái trung tâm mua bán sầm uất của người Việt chúng tôi, và đây cũng là một trung tâm du lịch cho tất cả không những người dân bản xứ ở đây mà cho toàn thế giới. Những ai có về Cali, nhất là về miền Nam Cali, thì sẽ đến trung tâm này để mà vui chơi, thưởng thức những món ăn của Á Đông và những hội chợ, những cái picnic, và những sinh hoạt lớn của cộng đồng tị nạn Việt Nam chúng tôi ở đất nước Hoa Kỳ này. Xin cảm ơn dân biểu Tạ Đức Trí nhiều, cùng Năm Quang Nguyễn, Emmy West và quý vị. Và tôi cũng muốn xin kêu gọi quý vị trong hội đồng thành phố này vui lòng, mở rộng lòng ra và chấp nhận những cái nghị trình này để cho Lido Sài Gòn chúng tôi mỗi ngày một thăng tiến và phồn thịnh hơn, hầu đem lại những lợi ích rất lớn cho đất nước Hoa Kỳ này nói chung và cho thành phố Westminster này nói riêng, cả Cali này nữa. Xin cảm ơn.
I also support the Lido Saigon freeway as a portion of 405 freeway to Lido Saigon and exit Lido Saigon exit because Lido Saigon is a good district of business, and like Vietnamese people from everywhere in the world and in this country, when they come to Southern California, they would go to Lido Saigon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our final speaker is Trong.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor. Tôi tên là Đoàn Trọng. Tôi là một trong những ký giả, phóng viên mà chắc là đã từng phỏng vấn ông nhiều lần, cover tất cả những cái tin tức của thành phố Westminster trong vòng 15 năm qua. Hôm nay tôi đến đây để trình bày với ông thị trưởng và tôi muốn nghe tiếng nói của những người cảnh sát ở đây về tất cả những sự kiện ông đã nói có tính cách vu khống chúng tôi. Một lần nữa tôi nhắc lại, you have to use a lot of words, on TV and YouTube, slander us. Regarding about the accident, you have been taken into on 27 May. Tôi muốn nói đến cái tai nạn xảy ra vào ngày 27 tháng 5. Tôi cùng với anh Vũ Hoàng Lân của Formosa TV và cùng một người nữa là ông Ngô Kỷ. Chúng tôi thực thi cái quyền làm báo chí của chúng tôi.
He wants to remind you that he has been a reporter covering the city and has covered you for 15 years. And he wants to warn you that you might be malign, slander him when saying that they lied when he and Formosa TV told the story about your accident, quote unquote.
One more time, một lần nữa, tôi xác nhận với ông, tôi chưa bao giờ nói ông là người invoke the DUI during the accident on 27. Tôi chưa bao giờ nói trên hệ thống truyền hình, cũng như radio, cũng giống nơi public. Nhưng tôi có quyền nêu ra những câu hỏi với tất cả những cái người mà tôi phỏng vấn trong những chương trình của chúng tôi. Và đặc biệt nhất, chúng tôi có mời nghị viên của thành phố Garden Grove, ông tiến sĩ Rô Đỗ Binh, để nói về tất cả sự kiện liên quan đến về luật pháp. Một lần nữa, tôi luôn luôn đặt câu hỏi, nếu cái sự việc đó nó xảy ra như vậy thì cảnh sát sẽ làm gì? Và tôi sẽ tiếp tục đưa ra tất cả những cái sự kiện để cho ông hiểu rằng chúng tôi không bao giờ và chưa bao giờ nói ông là người DUI trong vụ accident này.
He wanted to remind you that he never reported that you were under DUI. He said he never stated that you were under DUI. He said during his reports, he has the right to question the guests and put out scenarios. What if they were driving DUI? So that's only his theories, his question. He never reported that you were driving under the influence.
The reason, cái lý do mà tôi muốn nói với ông là cái báo cáo của cảnh sát. Nếu ông xem lại cái báo cáo của cảnh sát thì người ta đề rằng là trong cái báo cáo accident, traffic accident slide DUI, và chúng tôi có hỏi một vài chuyên viên về vấn đề luật pháp tại sao lại có cái chữ này ở ra. Chúng tôi một lần nữa nhắc lại ông, cái quyền tự do báo chí của chúng tôi có quyền hỏi ông về tất cả những sự kiện liên quan đến vấn đề tai nạn này. Chúng tôi không nói ông là người DUI. Nhưng bây giờ trở lại một trong những vấn đề quan trọng. Vào ngày 27 tháng 5, chiếc xe Tesla của ông đậu ở parking lot, hay là ông đang operate cái chiếc xe parking lot, chiếc xe Tesla của ông? Thì tôi không nghĩ rằng tôi đã đến hiện trường, tôi thấy một cái dốc cao như vậy thì không thể đào với một cái tốc độ mà có thể lên để đâm thủng vào tất cả biến kiến chắn ở phía trước. Bởi thế tất cả mọi người đều quan tâm đến cái tai nạn này, vì rất nhiều người Việt chúng ta, đặc biệt nhất trong thành phố Westminster, sử dụng xe Tesla. Và trên một hệ thống truyền hình, ông đã nói rằng ông đã bị vì malfunction. Tất nhiên là cái điều đó máy của ông bị hư hay chuyện gì. Có phải như vậy không? Ông có thể cho chúng tôi biết sự việc như vậy.
He didn't actually say that, but I'm saying like he said according to his understanding, when he saw the report, the log, it has printed DUI as a catalog, like a category, accident/DUI. So they were questioning. They put out a scenario, and maybe they thought, but they never reported or concluded that you were driving drunk.
Khi chúng tôi đến tai nạn mà do ông gây ra vào ngày 27 tháng 5, đây là một cái tai nạn rất là very seriously, có thể giết người. Và thế tại sao chúng tôi muốn đặt với cảnh sát? Tại sao khi cảnh sát đến lại không lập biên bản? Theo lời như ông nói là không có biên bản. Nhưng chúng tôi biết được rằng là có một cái biên bản, một cái số biên bản đã lập ra giữa người cảnh sát đến. Và ông có thể cho chúng tôi biết vào cái thời điểm đó, sau khi cái tai nạn xảy ra, ông đi đâu hay là ông còn đứng đó cho đến khi cảnh sát rời khỏi hiện trường?
He said when he visited the incident, the area, he can tell that it was a very serious accident because the car rammed a bush, rammed over the sidewalk and into the business, the store, broke all the window, a very concrete structure. So he was questioning, what did you do? Where were you after the accident happened? Did you stay and wait for the police to come?
Tôi đã contact với một vài người, cái nạn nhân, cái chủ của cái tiệm đó, và họ cho biết rằng đến bây giờ họ vẫn chưa nhận được cái tiền bồi thường, và họ đã email cho ông nhưng ông không có trả lời họ. Và ông cử một người, đó là ông Triệu Phát, đến đại diện cho họ. Và tại sao lại đặt ra điều kiện chỉ thưởng 3.000 thôi, trong lúc họ yêu cầu phải thưởng 10.000? Thế tại sao có những cái sự kiện nó khác hẳn như vậy?
Store owner said you never replied to them, but sent Mr. Frank Chow to come offer them $3,000.
Một cái sự kiện quan trọng và có thể.
Time's up. Thank you.
I want to hear from you, please.
That concludes oral communications, Mayor.
Okay, thank you very much. A short, yeah.
Mayor, we don't have a quorum at the dais.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know. So we don't have the quorum right now, so we have to wait. Next time, I think that the council should take a look around before you leave. I was waiting for Nam Quan to come back before I leave. I left earlier because if I leave...
Let's take a recess.
So Mayor, if we could just take a recess until we get a quorum back?
Yeah, he's coming back, so... Right, thank you, Vice Mayor. A short answer for you before I go on. Mr. Duan Chang, we are living in the United States, and you have all the rights to take me to court if you think that I did wrong. I never mentioned your name on anything. You go ahead and take a look at that, and if you see that, please, by all means, file a court case so that we will serve you. Okay, that's it for now. Now, the person, the gentleman that came out and talked, you heard my request to have him here. Please, I requested to have him here very, very politely to ask him to stay so that we can explain it to him. Boom. He's just left right after he spoke. So anyway, I don't know whether I need to respond to him or not, but I guess I would do it for now, okay, so that we clear it up. And I wonder why is now. It happened, the accident happened on the 27th of May, and today we are in June, at the end of June, so 1 month later. I expected for them to come out earlier, and they wasn't here. They wasn't here until today. So, first of all, before we go on, I want to thank you all for being here today and voice your opinion. And I just want to let you know that, I appreciate all the speakers, but for the thing that they are saying, we need to make sure that, we verify the information before we jump to conclusion. Because, well, for good and bad, sometimes they hated the council for some reason, and all the accusations are there. And I want to make sure that you understand it clearly. And, like I said, you come out and express your opinions. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. But I wish that we all work together for the betterment of the city of Westminster. I ask you, if there is criticisms, let's do it constructively so that we can all build this city moving forward. That's what I want. And I know that a lot of people want that too. Now, about accident. We call it accident. Nobody knows what happened to you. what happened to me. Any of us here, the accident can happen to any one of us at any time. And true, it had happened to me on the 27th of May, that as I mentioned earlier. Do I want it? No. Does anybody want to have the accident happen to them? No. Well, unfortunately, it happened to me.
Mayor,
Was it?
I just want to make sure we need to keep this very brief.
Well, at this point here is the end of the council. So I don't know whether we need to brief on this. I need to explain it to the audience or to the people. I'm responding to them, so I don't know whether we have to brief at this point. Okay? So I want to let you know that we don't want that to happen, but it happened to me. And now I want to clarify to you that I was in the car with my wife, and the accident happened. And to this date, I don't know why. Okay? To this date, I don't know why. And sometimes it's in my mind, I don't know why it happened that way. So instead of, come out and then you get excited about it and then criticize about it, I think we should feel sorry for me. I think you should feel sorry for me because I have to pay off all the expenses and everything. But regardless, let me go back right now. I have the PD answer you. And I want to, before I have the PD answer you, let me tell you that you can be assured that I was not DUI. If I was DUI, I wouldn't sit here at this minute here. No one above the law. So, Chief, would you please take it over? The next item is 6.4. Consider sending letter in support of Assembly concurrent resolution for Assemblyman Ta ACR 71, designating a portion of I-405 freeway as a Little Saigon freeway. So this item brought up by Councilmember West and seconded by Councilmember, Vice Mayor Nguyen. So Councilmember West, your turn.
Thank you. It is important, as a couple of our resident in the city of Westminster has compliment that, the freeway, Little Saigon Freeway, this is the hub, again, I feel like I'm repeating myself, the hub of refugee Vietnamese in Orange County. And that section, it's a small section from Bosa Chica on the 405 to Magnolia. This freeway runs through 90% of Westminster. So it's rightly so to say it's Little Saigon Freeway. And, with that being said, I noticed on this letter, this is what I propose, Mr. Mayor and the council, is that I would like to make a motion to approve this item tonight, but I would also like the opportunity for each council to sign on this letter, Mr. Mayor, especially since the Vice Mayor and myself were the one to put this item on the agenda, if that's okay, and then also to walk in the resolution as well, which I have it here. Now, if that's okay with you, I would love to have that on and to approve today.
Sir, there are two things that you want to add on. Number one is to have signatures of all council members. Number two, you want to add on the resolution, right?
To walk in the resolution.
Okay.
Correct.
The answer that I have for that is no. Let me tell you why. If we have all council approve for this letter to be sent or to be provided to Assembly office for distribution. I like to have, if not all, at least all the council members today to agree with that. Because there's no point to have 3 council members, when I'm talking about majority, sign it and then send that letter in. Because what they're looking at, they said, okay, everybody understand there are 5 or 7 members on the council. How come we have only 3? It will divide you the letter that we sent in. I'd rather have the letter state that approved by council, city council, and signed by mayor. I think it's more appropriate that way. If we don't have all council agree to that, then I don't think that is a good way to do. Because we basically tell them that we have divided council here, and take it or leave it. And that's not the right thing to do. That's number 1. Number 2, there's no need for the resolution. The letter of support is good enough. Why did I say that? I said that because, number 1, whenever we come with the resolutions, it costs money to come up with the resolution. And from now on, I think that, we need to be careful about it. The budget that we have right now is not allow us to use to do, things that we want to do that may or may not bring back the result that we want. Now, additional to that, I have communicated with the office of Mayor of Assemblyman Taha, and I was confirmed by Assemblyman Taha and his office, Chief of Staff, that they already said to me the letter of support is sufficient. There's no need for resolution. Third, for all these years, for the 4 years that I've been in the council, when we need to support something like this, it's only a letter of support for the mayor, and the mayor sign it. And those are the reasons why I don't think that the letter, the resolution need to, and I don't think that, and then the signatures, if we have all of these people agree, and then we can proceed with that. I will open up for comments.
Mr.
Yeah,
Mayor, may I address your concern?
Please.
Okay, so regarding, the resolution, you say it does cost more money, and that it's not strong, it doesn't need it. I guess my question to the city manager and city attorney is, with a resolution on any support or oppose, is it stronger? Is it more official? Can you please confirm that, guys?
Well, anytime a resolution is a more formal action, so you could take action by minute order, authorizing a letter. Resolution would be the next step up. Ordinance is the next step up from that to be more official as you're going. But again, it all depends on what they're asking for. So it sounds as though Mayor Tah's, or Assemblymember Tah is saying that the letter is sufficient. So yes, a resolution is more formal though.
Perfect, that's good to know. Okay, city manager, so is the resolution stronger message to the assemblyman and also the chair of traffic and commission, the chair?
Well,
is it stronger?
So a resolution is formal. The city attorney did a great job of explaining it.
So it's formal and it's stronger.
It's more formal.
Okay, so with that, that's good. Thanks for verifying that. Second, your concern was regarding talking to Mayor Assemblyman, I guess he's still mayor right here, Assemblyman Trita. You know, when I talked to him, he said it is okay. He's not object to it. And the thing is that when you say costs money, when it's stronger, it's more formal, why wouldn't we do that? In the past, with all the bills that we oppose, like AB 93 and AB 742, when we oppose it with a letter and the resolution, it sent a strong message to Sacramento and the appropriate committee. And guess what? The bill fell because they didn't have enough vote. They heard our voice, guys. So with that being said, with this, if we want to support this, AC 71, ACR 71, I think it will be more official if we have the resolution. And plus Christine, it's on the book, and she does all the resolution in the past. So how does that cost more money? So it doesn't cost more money. And then number two, the letter of support, it's more stronger. And then number one, back to your first question, you feel like this is take it or leave it with the letterhead. I think I remember you guys mentioned in the past, Mr. Mayor and Council Member Carlos, that you guys want all the council to have their name on the letterhead. And why would you oppose this one when those who, it brings unity. It takes three. Everyone knows that in the council to move anything forward. So it's not dividing us, but it shows a statement that this is the majority, whoever want to vote on it tonight, that it shows that all of us are in support.
Councilmember West, let be clear on this. When you mentioned that all councilmen with name on the top, I have no problem with that. I have problem with 3 council members signing this letter instead of 5 members signing this letter. We can have 5 names, council members on the top and being signed by me. That more unity, we show more unity from the city council instead of 3. And I'm more than happy to have like 5 of the council sign it. I love to have that. But if we don't have that, then don't proceed with 3, because we show them that we are divided. And the letter of support will not do the job that we want to do. And, and like I said, it's clear to me, I communicate to both of them, not once, twice, and they all confirm no. And
I don't
so
know, but
right now, either we are.
Mr. Mayor, that's false, because
Okay.
Chief of Staff of Assemblyman Trita has contacted me, and he said that is more solid. That is more official.
All right.
I don't know, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to walk in the resolution without my name on it. I did that for the purpose of you saying that I'm taking your power away. So I don't have my name on the resolution. Number one, I'm not taking your power away. Number two, with this letter of support, all of us are saying, I'm not, unless you think I'm taking your power away again. But that's not the purpose of taking your power away.
I'm
I
not
removed
going to
my name
argue,
from the
I'm not going to
resolution.
argue anything with, about this anymore. I am going to make a motion. Okay? My motion is to approve, because this is a good support that we show to, number one, it's a subject. Number two is, we show that we are in support, Assemblyman Ta, on this resolution. I am all for it. I think it's a good thing to do, so I'm all for that. But then, I will make this motion that to have the letter of support signed by me and all council names on top. And there's no resolution needed for this. That's my motion.
Mayor, before we go forward. Can I have a couple minutes?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. Well, here's how I feel about this. You know, the first, it's just a letter of support. We have no authority over this. Again, we each have our letterhead, and they can be sent to your representative on your own. This is the reason I don't think a letter from a council to a state assembly goes very far. I don't, that's, to me, they just look at it and just toss it aside. It's like, what is this? I think that's a lot of times when you want a bill to pass, a lot of times there's petitions, a lot of times there's community gets together, and it's many people. It's not just, 5 people or whatever signing, having the mayor sign it doesn't go very far. It's not showing that it's a community thing. It's just showing that it could even be a political thing by having a council sign it. I don't support this simply because all interstates are all named after cities of destination, cities, counties. You go on the 405, it's the San Diego freeway. I mean, the Santa Monica, it depends on where you're going. If the freeway goes from San Diego to Santa Ana to Los Angeles to Santa Monica to Golden State, Little Saigon is not a city, it's not a county, it's not even a district, it's an area. If the 405 was going to be changed to another name, why wouldn't it be Westminster Freeway? Westminster's a city, not Little Saigon. So I don't support this. What I do support is for there being wayfinding signs on the 405 and the new brown showing the direction to exit here for Little Saigon. That's absolutely reasonable. That's a wayfinding. But to change the name of an interstate to something that's not a city or a county or a district is not justifiable. So yeah, I would not support this.
So I guess I have a question. Mr. Mayor's not here.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. So let me ask City Manager, does this cost more money for the resolution? Can you please verify?
Cost more money than what?
To make a resolution, to write a resolution, which you copy and paste over from the letter to the resolution.
Time is money, so whatever amount of time equals the amount of money that
How long does it take
costs.
you to copy and paste that over to the resolution? To be honest.
How long did it take? Like 10 minutes.
10 minutes. How much is 10 minutes for your time?
Like what, $6 per year? I don't.
$30?
I don't know. What? 10 minutes of whatever her rate is per hour.
$10? About?
That's
Sure.
a rough estimate, but yeah, that's sure.
Okay,
$10.
so Mr. Mayor, it takes $10 to copy and paste a resolution from the staff report, that letter. So is $10 too much for you, Mr. Mayor, for a resolution?
It's not $10 or anything, but it's not necessary. So my motion still stand.
So $10 is too
Okay.
much.
Are you done?
I'm done. $10
Councilwoman
is too
from
much.
West. Mr. Mayor, may I?
Yes.
Okay, I listened to both sides. And because city attorney said that the resolution is more formal and it doesn't cost a lot of money. And this is my approach, my modification, if possible, looks possible to you. We're going to honor the walk-in resolution, but you are the only one that signed the letter and the resolution. If if that's possible, because I just, to me, sign a letter or a resolution is not my, it's not me. So I'm okay with, not signing any. So that's my modification if you think it's, possible.
I second that if,
The answer is no. I will stand with my motion if there's a second.
Yeah, can I say something, Mayor? I mean, just an observation, I don't know, you were gone, Mayor, but I spoke in opposition of this, but just a question for the other two council members is like, why, don't you guys want to support your mayor? If he's requesting something, it's like, why aren't you supporting him? It's not unreasonable.
is unreasonable, $10?
No, I'm talking about what the mayor is suggesting. I'm
doesn't
voting no
want
because
a
I don't
resolution.
approve of this. But for you guys, it's like he's making a suggestion and you don't support your mayor. I don't know.
Because the resolution costs $10 to do, which he says too much money. And he doesn't want the resolution. But yet, when we verify with the city manager and city attorney that it is more formal, a stronger statement,
It's formal, not strong.
it's formal, and it's stronger. So with $10, $10, I'll pay you for a 2-cup of coffee, Mr. Mayor, for $10 for a stronger resolution.
Councilmember West, it's not a $10 or $1. It's the integrity that you have. And this is the integrity that I'm having.
How is it not an
All right,
integrity?
so-
When I took my name off of the warehouse,
Well, we can vote for it now. So if you don't agree, you vote no.
I just second Mr. Vice Mayor, so
Okay,
it's up to you if you're okay with his
I don't think
modification.
Vice Mayor make a
He
make a
did.
motion. He recommended.
I recommend it.
He is not
recommended that
making
you
motions
change
yet.
that.
It's up to the mayor to accept that modification.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, do you accept that?
No.
Okay, then we vote for which one?
Do we have a second on the mayor's motion?
I second.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and read it into the record.
So wait, let me get a clarification. So Mr. Vice Mayor, you second Mr. Mayor not having a resolution or the letter with, I guess the letter with all the names of the council on it, but no resolution, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Wow, $10. Just remember that, okay? Because the city clerk just verified, it takes her 5-10
Please,
minutes to do
do
it.
you have anything else
You know
that
what?
you want
Because
to?
the reason that I make my decision this way because we spend so much time on this similar subject all over and over again. I just want to move on. The one who signed it and without signing, resolution, I just, very.
Well, I do ask for your support
getting to
on
the
this
point
so that we can move on.
We have to move on.
So I do ask for support on this so that we can move on. So we have the motion by Mayor and second by Vice Mayor.
The
And
substitute motion?
if you want to do the
The
substitute motion, go ahead.
First, go ahead.
It's the primary motion.
Yeah, there's no substitute.
I only have one motion currently with a second. So I have a motion by Mayor Nguyen and second by Vice Mayor Nguyen to move forward with staff's recommendation as noted on the agenda.
Hold on, I want clarification. So
Yeah,
that
that's-
wasn't a substitute motion?
That's a substitute motion, right?
Yeah, I
No.
thought it was your substitute motion to the actual motion.
Was there a motion before that?
I only received one. Originally, we had Councilwoman Fan West make a motion when she amended the recommendation, but we never received a second.
Yeah, so it was a motion from the mayor specifically, approve the letter, but signed by the mayor only and having all the names on the letterhead. No resolution. We didn't get a second on it. And so our understanding right now is you had a suggestion that you were hoping
No,
the mayor would modify.
No, I heard the
No,
vice mayor
the Vice
second
Mayor
his
seconded
motion.
that already.
He seconded it.
Can you repeat that? So the names, the 5 names are not going to be on the letter?
The 5 name is going to be on the letterhead on the top, all the council member.
No,
But
those who voted for it,
Yeah, I
not
don't-
all. It
Yeah,
can't be
so-
because he doesn't want
I'm
it.
not in support.
Say, if then I modify my motion that, the letter of support with the city of Westminster and then signed by the mayor.
Yes, I second
I want a
that.
substitute motion.
Okay, do it.
Okay, the substitute motion is to have this resolution without my name on the resolution. Council Fan West recommend the council, okay? That's removed. Just only the resolution, the formal resolution, which is $10, to have that on there. And then also to have that letter with, I agree with the mayor, as the council who basically voted tonight to have their name on there and signed by the mayor. I'm okay with that, Mr. Mayor. But to add that resolution onto it, that's my substitute motion.
Okay. Is there a second to that substitute motion?
Okay.
Hearing none, so the substitute motion
Substitute.
dies.
Yes.
Go ahead and vote on the original.
Okay, so we're going to go back to the original motion, which was made by Mayor Nguyen, second by Vice Mayor Nguyen, to move forward with staff recommendation that the mayor and city council consider sending a letter to support the adoption of ACR 71, designating a portion of the I-405 freeway between Bolsa Chica Road and Magnolia Street as the Little Saigon Freeway. This letter of support will be signed by the mayor.
You are calling me for vote or what?
I'm just completing the
Are
resolution.
you trying?
I'm just completing the recommendation that you guys are voting.
Oh, can you verify with me? Okay, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll go ahead and do roll call vote. Councilwoman Fan West?
You know what? This is my motion, my agenda, my agenda. And I do support this, the freeway to have that section for Little Saigon. But it's unfortunate, that the mayor doesn't want to make it stronger, or the vice mayor, because they want to vote together to make themselves look good for this. It's okay. For $10 for this resolution, I will say I agree to have this street, so my vote is yes. But it's unfortunate the $10 is too much to pay.
Councilmember Monzo?
So clarification, we're not going to have the names of the council on top.
Correct.
Correct.
It
So-
will only have the mayor's name as the signature line.
Good. So my